I introduce Mr. Bernard Bourne, the Public Relations Officer of the NDC New York chapter, who is going to give the official welcome, especially to our leaders from Grenada.
Thank you very much, Brother Hopkins. Good morning to all our friends visiting from Grenada, to all our journalist friends, all our party members, and all supporters. Thank you very much and welcome. We want to welcome especially the journalists and representatives of the various media operations here in New York. We are extremely happy that you are able to be with us this morning for this media briefing, and promise that you won't be disappointed and your time will be well spent with us today. To speak with you today is a power delegation from the National Democratic Congress in Grenada, led by the political leader, Brother Nassim Burke, who is the immediate former Minister of Finance. Then we have the deputy political leader, Brother Joseph Andal. We have the immediate former Prime Minister of Grenada, Brother Tillman Thomas. We have the chairman of the party and the PRO of the party, immediate former Ministers of Tourism and Education, Dr. George Vincent and Sister Franca Bernadine. Why are these NDC leaders visiting North America at this time? A lot has happened in Grenada and the Caribbean since the last elections of February 13, 2013. Our people at home have been fed a limited diet, and I literally mean limited diet, imposed by an IMF-supervised structural adjustment plan, or structural adjustment program. The government of Grenada continues to run Grenada as if they don't care. They have been globe-trotting and coming back empty-handed. All this time, the National Democratic Congress has been steadily working on rebranding itself and rebuilding for the fight to regain state power in Grenada, Carriacou, and Martinique. We believe that the Grenadian diaspora is ready to listen to the NDC. So these top brass leaders of the NDC are here to inform not only the Grenadian diaspora, but other well-wishers and the media on the state of affairs in Grenada, Carriacou, and Martinique, our Tri-Island state, and the party. The vision of the party for rebuilding a new and vibrant Grenada. How and why partnering with the diaspora, the Grenadian diaspora, is an important and sensible strategy for achieving this vision, and of course to participating in fundraising ventures. One of our big ones, it's going to be on Sunday, next Sunday, October the 18th, and all this visit will culminate in a major town hall public meeting the following Sunday, October 25th, at this Holy Cross School Auditorium. So I want to welcome you once again, and I want to hand over this presentation to my good friend Jerry.
Yes, folks. So officially I'll be your moderator, coordinator of the proceedings here. We want this to be to the point, and we want it to flow seamlessly. And essentially what I'm going to do now is, this is how it's going to run. Each one of the leaders here will briefly present on a particular topic or topics. Thereafter, we open the floor for Q&A. And I'll be here just moderating as we proceed. So at this point in time, without any further ado, I call on the leader of the National Democratic Congress of Grenada, Senator Nassim Burke.
Thank you very much, Jerry, Mr. Moderator. Let me say a very pleasant good morning to the members of the media who are here this morning. We are delighted to be in your company, and we are very thankful that you have made the time to come and share with us on this very important occasion. As you have heard, we are visiting the United States and Canada on a 4-city tour, New York, Washington, Toronto, and Montreal, in order to share with the Grenadian diaspora. We have billed as the theme of our visit, partnering with the diaspora to build a strong and vibrant Grenada. We do not see this trip as a trip simply to come and tell you what is wrong with Grenada or what is bad about what's going on in the country. That is important too. But we believe that while as an opposition party we have the responsibility to identify those things that are wrong and to criticize the things that are wrong, we also have the responsibility to present you with an alternative, to present the country with an alternative, to tell them what we see as the vision for the country's future. Where do we see Grenada in 2030 or 2040? And how are we going to get there? What is the vision and what are the plans to take us there? Our sense, our vision, our belief, our conviction is that the challenge facing our country is to build a strong, dynamic, prosperous democracy, capable of sustaining a very high quality of life for all of the citizens. And if we're going to achieve that, we must have the right kind of leadership in place. We must have a government that understands what the country needs, that shares the aspirations of the people, and is able to convert that aspiration into a clear vision for the country, one that is carefully articulated, one that the population can identify with, have buy-in to, and are willing to act collectively to make it happen. So we see our role as constructing, not destroying. And in that sense, we consider it extremely important for us to identify those critical areas of economic and social life that are going to determine the future of the country and to work about them. In that context, we firmly believe that the diaspora has a very critical role to play. It is interesting that in the last 30 years, the Prime Minister of Grenada today has been in government. He's been in the Parliament of the country for the last 31 years. He's been the leader of his party for the last 28 years. He's been a Minister of Government for 21 years. He's been the Prime Minister of the country for over 15 years. And in spite of this, in fact, in the last 20 years, 15 and a half of the last 20 years has been under his government, under his watch. And in spite of this, we have not been provided with a long-term development plan for this country. And in spite of this, we have not been told what is his vision for the integration of the diaspora in the long-term sustainable development of the country. In other words, what is the role that he envisages the diaspora is going to play and should be playing and ought to be playing? When the visits occur, what we see is an opportunity to attack the NDC. Even though we are not in government, the man who is behind the wheel is spending all his time complaining about the passengers in the car instead of driving the car and taking us where we're supposed to be going. So we see this trip as extremely important. We understand that the diaspora has been playing a very critical role in in the development of the country to date, but we must concretize that, we must harmonize it, we must coordinate it, and we must direct it in a more targeted way to achieve our economic and social objectives. Remittances is a big factor. It is, that has been, let me say that in 2012, for example, Grenada received over $77 million in remittances, $41 million in grants, so that in fact the remittances was significantly more than the grants that we received by way of official development assistance from many of the multilateral partners around the world. Our foreign direct investments from all countries and all agencies and all businesses combined was $106 million. Diaspora remittances alone amounted for $77 million. And that's only one dimension. The diaspora has a critical role to play in investments in community projects. They have a critical role to play as a potential source of skilled labor and expertise. They have a critical role to play as potential agents of direct foreign investment. They too, those who are of high net worth, can make critical investments in the country in that respect. They have an important role to play in helping us to identify and access new international markets, to take advantage of the international networks and connections that they have in order to remain competitive or to become competitive where we're not competitive. And so what we want to talk about with the diaspora is how can we partner with the diaspora to achieve long-term sustainable economic development for the country. We are not here to give a lecture. We are here to share with you our vision, our perspectives, and to get from you your thoughts, your suggestions, your recommendations on how together we can make Grenada a much stronger and more dynamic country. So we once again are grateful for this opportunity and thank you for coming today. Thank you.
we now go to our second presenter.